A single sword built an empire, not through length, not through size, through 18 inches of steel that turned farmers into conquerors. This is the story of the Gladius. It began as someone else's weapon. During the wars against Carthage in the 3rd century BCE, Roman soldiers met the Celtiberian tribes of Iberia in battle. What they found terrified them, and then it convinced them. A short, double-edged blade, narrow, tapered, brutally efficient in close combat. The Romans had a name for their own swords. After the Second Punic War, they stopped using them. According to the Suda, a Byzantine encyclopedia, the Romans abandoned their ancestral blades and adopted those of the very people they had fought. They called it the Gladius Hispaniensis, the Spanish sword. Rome did not invent the weapon that conquered the ancient world. Rome stole it. Stealing the design was the easy part. Making it deadly took generations. Roman swordsmiths, the gladiatori, forge-welded high-carbon steel edges onto a softer iron core, a technique known as piling. The result was a blade both hard enough to hold an edge and flexible enough not to shatter. Finished, the Gladius weighed under a kilogram and measured somewhere between 45 and 68 centimeters, depending on the century and the pattern. Light, fast, built for one purpose: the thrust. Roman training made sure every legionary understood that purpose. Recruits drilled for months with wooden swords built twice as heavy as the real thing, so that combat, when it came, felt almost effortless by comparison. The military writer Vigetius recorded the doctrine plainly. A cut, he wrote, rarely kills. A 2-inch thrust to the body usually does. Every strike was aimed to expose as little of the soldier's own body as possible, hidden behind the scutum, the legion's shield, until the final inch of steel. The world had never seen anything fight quite like it. In 200 BCE, the armies of King Philip V of Macedon met Rome's legions for the first time. Macedon fought with long spears and open formations, a style built for slashing at a distance. It was not built for this. The Roman historian Livy described what the Macedonian soldiers saw when they inspected the bodies of the dead. Limbs severed at the shoulder, heads cut cleanly from necks, wounds no spear had ever produced. Livy wrote that the sight left the Macedonian ranks in a kind of panic, a realization of exactly what weapon and what men they were now facing. The Gladius did not just win battles, it broke enemy morale before the next one even began. For 4 centuries, that blade did not stay only on the battlefield. In the arenas of Rome, the Gladius gave its very name to the men who fought and died for the crown. Gladiator, swordman, the weapon built to conquer provinces, became the weapon of Rome's most brutal entertainment, wielded by slaves, prisoners, and volunteers, chasing fame in the sand of the Colosseum. The same short blade that cut through Macedonian phalanxes cut through gladiatorial retiarii and myrmiones for the amusement of an empire it had helped create. But even the deadliest weapon in the ancient world eventually met its replacement. By the 2nd century CE, Rome's cavalry had already adopted a longer blade, the spatha, for the greater reach it offered on horseback. As the empire's infantry tactics shifted and the tight, disciplined shield walls of the early legions gave way to looser formations built to counter faster-moving enemies on more open frontiers, that same longer blade began replacing the gladius in the ranks. By the 3rd century CE, after roughly 500 years of service, the sword that built the Roman world had largely been retired. 500 years. Few weapons in human history have lasted that long, and fewer still can claim what the Gladius achieved with them. It carved out the Republic. It won Macedon, Carthage, Gaul, and half the known world for the empire that came after. It gave a word to the deadliest sport Rome ever staged, and when it finally stepped aside for a longer blade, it left behind not just an empire, but the very idea that discipline, in the hands of ordinary men, could conquer anything. Rome did not build its empire with size. It built it 18 inches at a time.